Hello, testing. Hello, hi, Motivated Alpha. You are very on time today. About to be Peakers of the Peak. We're still doing the hidden part of chapter 16. I haven't started chapter 15 yet. Chapter 17 yet. We are just gonna. My aim is to just try to finish the hidden node. I think it's about an adventure that Roland is having with some human scavengers. I haven't updated the thumbnail yet because I usually do my thumbnail in Canva, and I don't know, Canva's not working for me right now. So yeah, I will do that later. Did I get Helentine? Not yet. I already updated the game and stuff, but I haven't really I haven't really gotten around to doing her what's it called, affection story. So I'ma do that maybe later, maybe after the stream. But for now, let's just go to the game. There's me. Here's the sound. Here's the volume. Okay, hopefully you'll be able to hear that. Popping bomb versus hydrogen baby. Is that what it's like playing with Helentine? Is Helentine like peak meta right now? I guess I'll only find out once I actually get to her. I think one of you guys mentioned that this is the last hidden ever. So like chapter 17, there's gonna be no hidden story chapter, and the chapters after that, it's not gonna have it. So yeah, that's gonna be a little weird, but it's okay. We'll just do this anyway. Let's go. Shadows in the forest. Okay, where we last left off, I think Roland had just tricked the three scavengers into thinking that he's a normal human that they can take advantage of. Sometimes really easy to assess. I mean, yeah, I'd hope so. She is a free character, you know, you'd hope so. Not enough. Not enough at all. Not compared to the power of an agent. Oh, right, I think the one recording all of these records is Chef? Is Gabriel, I'm pretty sure. The Terragoda, I think that's how you say it, Queen, the polyphage, neither could even scratch the surface of the supreme radiance. This is the final form of real power. I realized that imitation is ultimately futile. What they really lack is the ability to learn. Fortunately, I met an agent with the same view as me. The gentleman, Vonnegut probably, repaired my body and gave me an invitation. She's already SS4, and you didn't complete the service missions and PP. Oh, okay. Damn, alright, so I guess she really is that easy to upgrade then. He affirmed my knowledge and gave me more strength. Thinking of all the possibilities after that, I could feel my hands tremble. This feeling was unprecedented. Based on what I've read in books, this feeling is akin to shaking with excitement. This instant, uncontrollable glitch made my cane fall into the red tide. Yeah, it is Gabriel. He's the one with the cane. Useless emotions only bring trouble. How long will it take until mankind completely disappears from the face of the earth and nature reclaims the cities? During the prosperous golden age, people who kept progressing forward were no longer satisfied with dazzling new things and cutting-edge technology. While many were fascinated by reaching the stars, some people imagined a world without humans. If you pull once, which is also very easy, and complete the service mission, she's easily SSS. Ah, okay. I don't know if I have any pulls left though. After getting my my Luna. This post-apocalyptic fantasy had always been a popular topic for readers. Vines climb the walls, tree roots peck through the asphalt, and rusty steel towers collapse in the wind and rain. Nature only needs a little sunshine and rain, and it will recapture this land at an amazing speed. Trees take root, their branches strong, grass sprouts spreading like a blanket. The air smells of moist soil, like a pure land that has never been tread on. But this picture, which is too peaceful, seems rather uncanny for the time. Careful, it's hard to walk there. Watch your step. That's right, this is our usual Roland, but he's calling himself Rolmo right now. Oh, I want to get Alpha to SSS as well. You're saving the weapon harmony. Just for Alpha, the new ones. Oh, that's right, we can harmonize weapons. I don't think I've done that yet. But I think I do have the like materials for it. Like, it's not really, you know, something that I have to do, right? It's more like something that's nice to have. Careful, it's hard to... Okay, is there really a CPF? Don't you think it looks like a... It looks a little primitive? Aren't all filters built in cities? Apparently not. It's over there. Zack raises his hand and points forward. Between the heavy clouds and the luscious foliage, a massive dark steel building looms. Oh, it's hard to see with so many trees here. Also, I think I'm gonna sprain an ankle. These weird roots are getting on my nerves. The group walks on the uneven forest floor, both feet never on the same plane. Right as they hear the sound of something being crushed, Beardy steps into a deep pit with his left foot. What the hell was that? Beardy hurriedly pulls his feet out of the soil. Looking down, he discovers that he stepped on a cracked, rusty iron plate. The paint on it had peeled off from the rust. Only the words Puglia and Guide are legible, as well as a map that looked very large. The place trampled by Beardy is located in the center of the map. Oh, it's a map. Forest is too overgrown. This map is useless. You're right. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, you know, the map would be outdated by now. At least the filter is right in front of us. We don't need it anyway. Record the location of the buildings in the park. Even if there are no supplies in the filter, we can still look for other useful things here. Zack looks carefully at the iron plate on the ground again, then points to the hole in the center of the map. Looks like the facilities are all built around the middle, which is most likely the location of the tower. You just smashed the most important part of the map with a single step. How very you. So what? That means we'll have no problem getting to the filter. Beardy doesn't seem to pay any mind. Instead, he raises his arms and laughs. We're looking for supplies, not to destroy things. I think it would be great if we can occupy the filter. After all, starting it should be easy with Zack here. Our final destination is the conservation area. We shouldn't linger anywhere other than where we've discussed, not to mention stay as far away as possible from all machines. Forget our rules again? Well, too late for that. Roland is right next to you. I guess we'll be in deep shit if they get corrupted. Yeah, I remember. Looking away from the iron plate, Zack notices a tear in Beardy's pants. He must have cut it accidentally when he pulled his leg out of the hole. Have a rest and check out supplies. We'll move out in 15 minutes. Bandage your wound. Don't want you slowing us down when the tough gets going. Huh? Beardy looks at his lower leg and notices that he's bleeding and curses out loud. Curses out loud. Show me a good time, Zack. Where'd that come from? Shit, I didn't even feel a thing. What'd I tell you? Nothing could stop me. Honestly, I'm like that sometimes. Sometimes, like, I live in a country where there's lots of mosquitoes around. Sometimes I just like scratch at a mosquito bite until I bleed, and I won't notice I'm bleeding until like I look at my fingers because the blood made my fingers a little tacky. I look like what's on my fingers that made it feel that way, and oh, it's blood. Oh, it's my blood. It do be like that sometimes. I don't want your dumbass dying from an infection. Get over here and let me take care of it. We're strapped for medical supplies, but we're in luck. I just saw some plants around here that can be used to deal with wounds. Oh, you're a little apothecary person. After working for a short while, they finally set up a crude base camp. They clear a relatively flat patch of land and use a spare gas stove to light a simple bonfire. Zack loads shells into his shotgun and quietly inventories the ammunition on him. After Cordis tends to Beardy's wound, he sits down beside him and fiddles with a plant by his foot as if lost in thought. Rolmo appears to be nervous, but after seeing that no one is paying attention to him, he just sits quietly beside the campfire. Roland's really selling it. He's really in actor mode now. Zack just looks at him calmly, closes his eyes, and takes a nap. Perhaps it was because Rolmo had kept himself busy the entire time looking for supplies, leading the way, helping them avoid areas with hidden danger several times. Either way, the trio seems to have grown accustomed to him. They even appear to have let down their guard around him. It's been less than a day, and you guys are already, trusting him this much? How did you guys manage to survive this long, huh? Beardy adjusts his bandage, then pulls out half a hardtack and throws it to Rolmo. I think hardtack is, the emergency food used by military, right? Huh? Ever since we left the city, I haven't seen you eat a single thing. And you don't think that's suspicious? You aren't made of metal, are you? Don't starve yourself. You'll need to lead the way here in a bit. Thanks. Do they not consider, someone could be a construct? Did no one, try to, throw a rock at Roland and see if it sounds like a clang? And see if he's made of metal? Accustomed to seeing decadent cities, the green forest reinvigorates the weary travelers. Yeah, it does seem like foliage and, greenery has that effect on people, huh? Sometimes I feel like I've been in the city for too long, but then on weekends sometimes I go and visit my grandma and stuff, and she has a what's it called, basically she grows a lot of fruits around, so there's trees around her house, lots of trees, and I always feel a lot calmer whenever I visit her. I'm not sure if that's just the effect that my grandma has, or it's the effect of the trees, or if it's both, but it always makes me feel better. Their destination is near. For a moment, they lower their guard slightly and enjoy a short respite during their perilous journey. Whistles. I can't whistle. The dry whistle echoes in the forest. It seems to be an old tune. Romo looks up at Zack while he whistles. There's a peculiar twinkle in his eyes. Peculiar. This place reminds me of a movie I saw a long time ago. There's a scene really similar to this forest. Oh? Were you in that movie, Roland? What movie? In a world of never-ending wars and disasters, a young man volunteers on a journey to the tower at the edge of the world in search of a secret treasure that can end the war, thus completing his trial to become a knight. In one scene, the main character arrives at a dark and gloomy forest where he is surrounded by monsters. He then fights them for 7 days before finally breaking free, only to find out that the monsters were really... what was it again? Oh, it was the loss and weakness he felt in his heart. Is it the Green Knight? I think that's an Arthurian legend-based movie, right? I don't know, it's been so long since I've seen that movie, but is it the Green Knight? The leader of the scavengers, who was a man of few words along the way, opens up a little and shows a rare expression of enthusiasm as he talks about the movie. Well, who'd have thought that you had an eye for the art, Zack? I sure didn't. I'm surprised you even remember anything about it. The monsters in it were pretty cool. Fair enough. Sounds like a B movie. How'd it end? After an agonizing struggle, the main character finally reaches the top of the tower, but there's no secret treasure. It was all in vain. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's basically the plot of The Green Knight. I didn't have time to finish it, but it was towards the end. I just remember the main character falling on one knee in the tower after realizing there was nothing in there. Zack stands up and imitates the protagonist kneeling down with his sword, according to his memory. I don't know how to say this. Sorry. How is this our final destination? Huh. It's nothing. Just about choked on hardtack is all. I choked on the hardtack. That line sounds cringy. Seems like a garbage movie. Garbage? I don't think so. The monsters were pretty badass and the main character's acting was on point. Was it you, Roland? Were you the main character? He looked pretty young, but he was already starring in a movie. Apparently, he won the award for Best Actor and was signed by a famous entertainment company from the Golden Age. What was it called again? Rocco? I can't imagine you... Was it Roland? Really? I guess maybe after he escaped the Truman Show, he still continued acting? I would have thought, like, from the way they showed his interlude, I thought that, like, the end of the Truman Show place was the start of the apocalypse, was the start of the punishing virus, basically ending the world. Did they still make movies after that? I mean, well, they probably did. I mean, they're still showing movies and, like, making plays and stuff on Babylonia. So I guess it's not too outlandish for someone to have thought, I'm gonna make a movie during the apocalypse. And they made Roland star in it. I can't imagine you following what goes on with celebrities. There's a lot you can't imagine. The ending was pretty bland, but it was a pretty decent memory in hindsight. Now, this kind of entertainment is a luxury. That's one of the privileges of living in a time of peace. Movies seem lame, but they're a symbol of a happy life and the freedom to have fun whenever you want. Ah, yes, escapism. A happy life, huh? A word like that seems so far away. What is the standard of happiness for people in the Golden Age? Was it having enough food, warm clothes, a job that can support you, and a home that awaits your return? For scavengers, these are unreachable hopes, especially the job part, probably. Well, it's no use thinking about it now. We can't even say for sure if we'll survive. Zack stands up and puts out the fire in front of him. Oh, okay, almost sneezed. Prepared to move out. Under the guidance of Romo, the scavengers see the gray steel building get closer and closer. As they proceed deeper into the forest, Cordis notices some subtle changes in the forest. The strange sound from the depths, the crackling sound of dead branches breaking, and the increasingly obvious scarlet light emanating from the plants. Originally, he thought it was red berries or leaves until he accidentally broke a branch when he passed a narrow path. Red, viscous liquid flows out from the bark and drips on the grass. Punishing virus. What was that? Something's wrong with these plants. They seem to be infected with the punishing virus. Sap shouldn't be this color, even for the red leaves. I wouldn't know. I'm not a forest person. I wouldn't know what color sap should be. Enough with the botany lesson. You mean these trees are infected? But the punishing concentration here is low. With that, Beardy reaches out to break the nearest branch. Hey! Don't touch the weird red goop. Have you not learned your lessons from the apocalypse? Don't! Destroying the plants might cause the concentration to rise. Alright, keep it down. You're the one being stupid, Beardy. You're in the apocalypse. Shouldn't you guys, all of you, be more careful than this? Just looking at the plants, you can see that they're no ordinary plants. They seem to be extending in this direction. With that, Cordis pushes aside the wild bushes and follows the red plants deep into the forest. Why are you following the suspicious plants? It's reasonable to assume that these plants aren't affected by the punishing virus. There must be a reason for this mutation. Why are you going to check it out? This is how people die in horror movies, you know? Hey, slow down! Wait, don't go that way, it's too dangerous. The scene in front of him causes Cordis to be momentarily at a loss for words. I guess they wouldn't know horror movie rules, considering the fact that there probably aren't that many horror movies being played during the apocalypse. After passing through the lush overgrowth, he sees a completely different scene from the forest behind him. Scarlet crevices are covered with green plants, interspersed among them, he sees dazzling red vegetation and deformed humanoid creatures crawling within it. The humanoid creatures crawl on their four legs, which are constantly changing shape. The rattling from the menacing bone spurs on their limbs echoes through the forest. For a moment, Cordus thinks that he's stumbled into hell. The weird and twisted creatures in front of him are like souls burning in hellfire, but as Beardy grabs him tightly, he slowly comes to his senses. Holy shit, what are those things? Beardy's voice is distorted out of fear. His sudden outburst causes the unaware creatures to notice him. Why did you have to yell? One of the creatures tilts its head, then begins to slowly crawl toward the scavenger. A peculiar red cord of the thickness of a woman's forearm trails behind it, wriggling like entrails or an umbilical cord. Its chest is connected to one end, in which a red spear beats wildly. The creature's head, lacking any facial features, slowly turns to the human in front of it, as if observing him. It lifts up its forelegs and stands up, then waddles towards the scavenger like an infant. Ew, it's waddling. Inspired by the first creature to stand up, the other creatures crawling on the ground stand up in a twisted manner. Dozens of pale creatures in the forest stand up and turn to face the scavengers. Their bloody umbilical cords drag on the ground with a sticky, oozy sound. Finally processing what he's witnessing, the only emotion that occupies the forefront of the scavenger's mind is fear. Ah! As they get within close range, the pale skin of the creature's face begins to peel back, followed by the dark red flesh underneath. What is it, a Demogorgon? Revealing a cavity in its skull. Two rows of firm white spurs grow along both edges of the cavity like a poor imitation of human teeth. It is a Demogorgon. Almost exactly like Cordus, the creature wails from within its round cavity, while mechanically repeating the scream. It puts its two hands in front of its chest, one higher than the other. It is the same posture as Cordus, with his gun drawn. But the posture lasts less than a second, only to be disrupted by a barrage of gunfire. The creature staggers back a step, then slowly tries to lift up its arm, which has been blown off. What are you doing just standing there? Zack's yell causes Beardy to suddenly wake up from the nightmare. Pushing Cordus away, the gun in his hand unleashes a fierce burst of flame. The gunfire blasts the creature right in its head and chest. What are you doing standing there? Even on the verge of collapse, the creature continues to mimic them like a mirror, trying to replicate human behavior. The horrific sight causes Beardy's hair to stand on end. This is kind of reminding me of the Backrooms, the movie. I don't know if you guys already watched it, but I did. They basically, a little spoiler, they basically have monsters in there that try to replicate the people who have gotten stuck in that place. Why won't it stop? Beardy raises his gun to shoot the creature with an even larger barrage. The exposed red spear breaks and splatters, sending scarlet blood mist into the air. The scavenger's bare skin begins to fester due to infection. White ribs begin to grow outside the broken red heart of the creature. The punishing virus, just like those monsters growing in the red tide, they're all viruses. Alright, time to leave. Time to go. Leave the forest. Run, there are too many of them. It's too dangerous here. Go to the CPF. Go, go, go. Following Zack, Rolmo shouts at the top of his lungs and points to the huge tower hidden in the distant forest. Get a move on. Follow me, straight through here. That's where the tower is. Run! Cordus stumbles, but Beardy yanks him up by the collar. The group dashes past the eerie, slow creatures and through the withered forest, sparing no time or attention to their surroundings. Not even the fact that Rolmo, who initially told them to run this way, is no longer following them. Dun dun dun! Roland? The raggedly dressed refugee comes to a halt and raises his hood slightly as he solemnly watches the monsters gradually surround him. Mother's influence has already begun to take hold. That was faster than expected. What did Cinderelic do? She gave it fertilizer. Lots and lots of fertilizer. What a pain in the ass. Now's not your time to take the stage. I can't let you disrupt the lead's performance. Mind getting off the stage? Fight? We fighting? Do I just... Sapiens will not. Sapiens start to attack.
The audience is watching. This is the climax.
Ah. Ouch. Ouch. What was that? What was that sound, Roland? Ouch.
The audience is watching. Where are you going? Ouch.
It seems that they can go up and down. I guess like Spider-Man.
Where are you going? This is the climax.
Ouch. Yeah.
The audience is watching.
The audience is watching.
Ouch.
Ouch. I haven't gotten the timing yet.
Hear more of the real scream. Let me hear more of the. This is the climax of the play.
Come on, go down already. Roland, you're so weak. Now I can meet those scavengers. Can't wait too much time. Oh, let me think of a lesson. The timid refugee was lost for a while, but I need to make myself look more awful. That'll do. Alright, time to go to the next scene. He needs to get in character. Where am I supposed to go? Roland? Roland, where are you supposed to go? Move towards where the punishing particles come from and leave the forest. Okay. I think they're coming from that way? This way?
This is the end.
Dun, 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 dun. Wait, the only one here. It's Monday. Everyone's still asleep. Motivated Alpha. That's why. Huh. Did we lose them? Looks like it. I don't see any behind us. After running for a long time, the forest and monsters are finally gone. At least for the time being. The scavengers stand in a clearing. The tall steel buildings in the distance block most of the sunlight in front of them, casting heavy shadows on the field. The central purification filters were a form of hope that people in the post-pandemic age lived on. Now they're lighthouses that lead Babylonia to recapture Earth. Several conservation areas have been built around the filter towers, carrying the hopes of many that still wander on Earth. The facilities at the base of the tower are entwined by mysterious vines. Even after standing in the wind and rain for decades, the white paint on the tower still remains clearly visible. DPF-040. Central Purification Filter 040. We've made it. Zack cannot help but take another 2 steps forward. Only by looking up can he see the tower in its entirety. The red light at top of the tower looms in the gray sky. Hold on. I want to hydrate for a bit. Let me drink. Okay. Looks like the tower. Wait, where'd that bastard go? Beardy's loud outburst echoes in the clearing. Stop yelling! You're gonna make all of the corrupted come to us. Not corrupted, heterosapiens. Startling Zack, who's been looking at the tower in contemplation. Well, are you trying to give our position away to all those monsters? Yeah, that's what I said. Well, you are here. I'm glad you're here, Motivated Alpha. No, our guide's missing. Romo. Looks like we got separated when we ran away. Looks like he's a goner. He could barely stand on his feet. Guess those monsters tore him to pieces. As soon as Beardy speaks, they hear a rustling of branches and footsteps coming from the forest, as if someone is approaching. Zack immediately raises his gun and points it in the direction of the noise. The tension in the air causes the trio to freeze. The bushes shake, then a dirty gray figure emerges from within. He raised his hands in horror when he sees the barrels of guns pointing right at him. It's me, don't shoot! Holy crap, you made it out alive. I thought you were... I know the forest like the back of my hand, so... If you knew the forest like the back of your hand, then why did you lead them directly to a trap, Zack's gun still remains firmly trained on the compliant refugee, even though the crisis has been averted. Were those the monsters you were... Whoops. Were those the monsters you were referring to? Yeah, I warned you guys, didn't I? Oh, he did? I forgot. Romo nods in panic as if the men's guns are more frightening than those monsters. He carefully observes Zack's expression and adds in a low voice, I normally don't encounter them the way I go. And if I do, they just crawl around and don't attack. I've never seen so many. Do you know where the entrance to the CPF is? Yeah, I do. The front door won't open though. We have to go in through through an air vent. Hurry, let's go in. Those monsters are swarming the outside of the tower. Hear that? We're all here. Let's go. Lead the way, Mr. Guide. Beardy smiles and raises his hand to pat Rolmo on the shoulder, but Rolmo flinches with a frightened expression. What's the matter? I'm not gonna hit you. Forget it. Beardy shrugs and turns to look at the filter tower in front of him. The tower sure is tall. Hey, Cordis, we're like the protagonists in that movie Zack likes, aren't we? Going through the damn forest and encountering those damn monsters in search of something that might not even exist in this damn tower. So much damn. Zack remains quiet and sighs. No way we're the protagonists. The protagonists are out saving the world. No one cares about our story. Even a B-rated movie might be better than our current lives. But at least some people will see us fighting to survive. The scavengers gradually approach the CPF in silence. At this time, none of them are aware that they stepped foot onto a stage for a performance that has been planned long in advance. It's a trap! The only spectator is gazing from the chaos deep inside the tower through the winding vines that entangle the forest and the vacant eyes of the hetero creature. Damn. Okay, let me hydrate first. You hydrate too, motivated alpha. Actually, let me check if Canva can be opened yet. Maybe that's why a lot of people aren't here. It's cause I don't have the thumbnail ready, maybe. Still loading. Like some of the previous pages, the previous thumbnails that I uploaded are already up, but it don't look like it's loading the rest. Should I? Should I just try to close and open it again? Hold on. I want to double check something. Okay, well, never mind then. I'll do the thumbnail after I'm done, I guess. The impact from the orbital strike has greatly reduced the coverage and concentration of the red tide. But these losses are negligible because that thing has appeared deep beneath the scorched earth. The impact of discovering such a thing in no less than the moment I found the hetero core. The impact of discovering such a thing is no less than the moment I found the hetero core. At first, I didn't even fully comprehend what that thing was. It's like a revelation, an affirmation of my long persistence. Although it shares the same characteristics as the hetero creature incubators, it must be completely different inside. I call it the mother. Ah, so Gabriel was the one who discovered the mother, not Cinderelic? It seems that Der Meister is very interested in this new discovery. Even Vonnegut didn't know about it. Okay, as one of the rewards for trading with him, I got a helpful assistant. She has a keen knowledge of hetero creatures and is an intelligent candidate for ascension. If he's talking about Cinderelic, then that means that she wasn't an ascendant before Gabriel joined. So she's pretty dang new, pretty dang young. Using her intellect, I found an incubation method to ensure that Mother can unleash its full power. Cinderella calls it maternal love, the protective instincts of human mothers towards their children. She then implanted this data into Mother. Mother has been an excellent incubator. It seems that human emotions. Okay, almost sneezed again. Whew. Seems that human emotions aren't completely useless. Maybe my previous directions were mistaken. For this reason, I am simulating a special intervention to observe how emotion will affect Mother internally. Cinderelic is a transcendent. Oh, like Lady Chu and the Dark. What's his name? Kamu. Like Lady Chu and Kamu. Ah. I actually haven't checked again whether or not Cinderelic is playable. I don't think she is. Or like if she is playable, then they probably changed her appearance and her name in the playable roster. Like how they changed, Ishmael from the Merciful One to Ishmael. Unfortunately, I do not understand emotions. For this reason, I am simulating a special intervention to observe how emotion will affect Mother internally. Unfortunately, I do not understand emotions. The data provided by Cinderelic is too unitary. I need more human specimens. Intact, low-risk human specimens must be introduced into the area where the test subject is located through non-combative means. This is no easy feat. Besides, the surrounding area has been scorched by the orbital strike. As a result, humans avoid the area out of fear. The Buster Call. I must admit, Roland is far more capable in this regard. It's a pity that after the battle with the polyphage I lost contact with Roland. I presume he's already become nourishment for the Red Tide. It seems that this experiment can only be carried out where the highly different unit is located. Highly different unit. Oh, she isn't? She's not playable, you mean. I released rumors to lure people to Puglia by taking advantage of humans' desire for gains, just like how I spread the Red Tide's gospel. I want gains. Let these humans who are still struggling on Earth today witness the will of the punishing virus. Having made their way into the exposed ventilation duct, the scavengers are crawling slowly inside the narrow and dark space. After following Rolmo around and around for the upteenth time, they finally find their way out of the ventilation duct. Flickers of daylight shine through the dome. It's the only source of light inside this giant tower. Hope I'm doing events for getting black cards. Honestly, I haven't started doing them yet, but I will. I'll get to it eventually, maybe. Probably. Thank you for reminding me, though. This magnificent facility left behind since the Great Evacuation also falls victim to the ravages of nature. Soft, moist grass covers the connecting passages. Vines and branches get all tangled up between the iron walls and staircases, opening the doors originally used to seal off the mysterious chambers and growing all the way up from the very bottom of the tower. The scavengers immediately see the boxes scattered across the bottom level. They bear the world government icon. Over there, supply crates. The stairs down were destroyed by overgrowth, so they have to cling to the edge and gradually climb down using the bare vines. Right as Beardy is about to reach the bottom, the vine snaps under his weight, causing him to fall to the ground with a heavy thud. Beardy, you okay? The broken vine begins to writhe like a worm. And suddenly, the red plant rapidly regenerates from the severed vine, convulsing momentarily. The green cuticle covers the entire branch again. Compared with the branches of ordinary vines or plants, this weird twisted thing is more like the tentacle of a mollusk. Mollusk? I think that's a sea creature, probably. Beardy screams and dumps the plant in his hand. He quickly takes out the gun that has been hanging on the side of his bag. What the hell is this thing? Seems like the vine is mutated, just like the plants in the forest. If their suspicions are correct, destroying it will only increase the punishing concentration. Just like those monsters. Was corrupted now. I've had enough. Honestly, same. First, you corrupt the machines, then you corrupt the humans, and now you're able to do that to plants. Can I get a refund? Romo. Yeah, I'm here. Are there any of the monsters we saw in the tower too? I don't know. If I find out you're lying, well, he's lying. Shh. Beardy, who was already leading the way over to the supply crate, suddenly turns around and gestures to be silent. Quiet. Looks like we're not alone here. Beardy walks around the pile of supply crates and discovers a person quietly sitting in the corner behind the crates. Or rather, it wasn't a person. It was a construct. Oh. It's not a construct, it's a corpse. It's dead. The corpse is leaning up against an empty supply crate. Its skull had been pierced by a branch, and its mouth hangs open, hangs motionlessly agape. Its decayed hands were in an empty grip, as if they were holding something tightly before they died. Scarlet plant branches entwine around its body, almost assimilating it with the surrounding environment. The group falls silent at the horrific sight. Beardy curses, then walks up to the body. People say if you smell toast, it's because you're about to have a stroke, right? Well, I'm smelling toast. I don't think it's a stroke. I think it's actual toast. I think maybe someone downstairs, maybe one of my brothers, is making toast. Or it could be my mom. She likes toast. But yeah, I'm suddenly smelling toast. I'm a little worried. The group falls silent at the horrific sight. Beardy curses, then walks up to the body. Hey, watch out for the plants. Beardy replies. He keeps a distance and pokes the corpse as well as the plants around it with his gun, then backs off quickly. It's okay, it's not moving. Confirming that the plants won't ambush them, Beardy kneels down next to the corpse and expertly pats it down, looking for anything. Huh! Wow, that yawn came out of nowhere. Looking for anything useful. You're back from studying. It was radical. Maths radicals. I don't remember if I ever learned radicals in maths. To be fair, it's been so long, and there's so much that I don't remember from maths. But hey, sounds like you had fun. You had fun, Mike. Congratulations. Hold on. My eye. First, I'm smelling toast, and now my eyes are watering because, I don't know, feels like there's something in it. Am I okay? Not finding anything, Beardy turns over the backpack that fell on the side, then shakes his head and throws it back. The unidentifiable corpse has nothing that can be deemed useful. Nothing. Looks like there've been at least 3 other groups that came here before us. He points at the bullet marks on the supply crates and grins. I see 3 different kinds of bullet holes, new and old. Looks like there was a firefight here. This unlucky bastard didn't make it out. Check the area, see if we can turn up anything useful. We can't go home empty-handed. Can you go home at all? If you're, surrounded? This place is surrounded. Put your hands up. The other 3 nod, readying their weapons. They spread out in opposite directions without having to say another word. A book. Cordis stops in front of an unlucky corpse. He bends down to pick up a book that appears to have fallen out of his hand. He carefully turns the crisp paper. The sallow pages are stained with oxidized blood. We still don't know where Luna is. Yep. Yeah, I feel like it's gonna be a while before Luna reappears in the story. I think maybe right now my theory is that Luna is just traveling around like Ishmael. She's just on her own, probably trying to figure out whether or not she really is in love with the with the MC, with the Grey Raven Commandant. But I don't think she's with anyone right now. We know she's not with Alpha. We know she's not with Roland or Lamia. So I think she's just on her own for now. I'm gonna chew on some day-old popcorn if you don't mind. Looks like a religious text. They found a Bible. The story of Genesis, Eden, the tree of life. Why are you always so obsessed with weird stuff? The Bible is considered weird in PGR. Take only the things that are useful, Cordis. Don't forget our rules. Yeah, she definitely traveled. I know. This area is clear. I didn't find anything. How about you guys? I found 2 boxes of military rations and 1 box of pistol ammo. Looks like they belong to... Whoops. Looks like they belong to the ground troops. They were hidden out of sight. I almost missed them. Zach, see something? Zach remains quiet. He doesn't appear to hear what Beardy said. He just stares at a spot on the tower. Zach, you okay? See something? Only until Beardy walks up to him and pats him does he slowly turn his head. His face contorts into a strange expression as he points to the area he had been observing. That's the ventilation facility at the bottom of the tower, which hasn't been damaged by branches and vines yet. The tangled up vines find their way around the fan blades on all the vents. A gust of wind is coming from the depths of the vents, and along with it comes the noise of some large operating mechanoid. The sound is a rhythmic beat, reminiscent of a heartbeat. If I'm not mistaken, it's barely noticeable, but I think the tower is still in operation. Well, it's not really doing a good job considering all the, hetero sapiens around here. Hi, Spirit. Hello. Motivated Alpha was getting lonely. Still in operation? What? But hasn't this place been abandoned for ages? I thought I saw a red light on the top of the tower, which means it's in operation, but I couldn't see it clearly with all the fog from the forest. I thought it was just my imagination. I mean, it could be like, a self-operating thing. Maybe it's just running on like solar energy or something. Shiki-kan, hello. Hi. Hi, Code. Hi, hello, welcome. But I'm almost positive this tower is still in operation. Why is Roland suddenly in the dark like that? Why is he suddenly just a silhouette too? Why? Oh. Error. What was that? The tower doesn't like being told that it's still in operation. 9.4 mil in ignition. I don't know what that is, but sounds like it's a good thing. Following the sudden vibration, the facilities in the tower flash with a red warning light. From the dark recesses of the air vent, thick branches break the fan and attack Zack, the closest person to them. Warning! External damage to the central purification filter detected. Damage rate at 50%. Damage rate at 60%. Oh, this is what happens when you guys walk in here. You just gotta ruin a good thing. Punishing virus filtration will deactivate at 90%. Please follow instructions and evacuate the tower in an orderly fashion. Alpha with Vera. It's the Warzone score in ignition power zone. Oh, okay. It's Warzone. I think I already did that earlier today. It's a weekly thing, right? I usually just do it once just to, get it done with. Alpha, Vera War, and gonna go Dark Text Nanami. Good luck! Intermittent broadcasts can be heard all throughout the tower. Bang! Zack shoots and breaks the fast approaching branch, then notices the change in the vents. Inside the vent, he hears a demonic cacophony of restless stirring and grinding teeth. Suddenly, countless hetero creatures break through the vent and begin pouring out mucus, from abscesses on the plants. It's like a torrent of decaying organisms. They entwine, roll, and gather to form new creatures, making a sound just like a swarm of insects. I feel like I'm fortunate enough to say that I have yet to encounter a plant that has mucus. I'm sure it exists. I haven't encountered it, and I feel lucky to not have to. Fuck, we need to get the hell out of here. Nanami leap, really good. If only you could manage the stacks better. Could hit 16 mil. Oh. You hit big PP numbers with Nanami. Good to know. It's too dangerous down below. Head to higher ground. I wonder what the twins are doing right now that their mom is gone.
How you would use your tool.
Would they go back to the Puglia forest, or would they go travel and maybe run into Luna? Alright, I'm staying back to clean the stage as always. Not affected by wind, what a hassle. If an extra can't listen to the director's instructions, there's no doubt that he will be fired. Why are you so far away?
Where are you going?
Where you going? Fight. Oh, avoid the energy. Oh, okay. Damn, Roland, you're so weak. You got knocked out by that, and I gotta restart now. Okay. Alright, come here. Come closer. Come closer. No. Come closer.
This is climax.
Nope, nope. Stay away from the wind. Come closer. Stop playing at the edge like that. Ouch. Ah. Wind, 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 no! Ah! You got the high ground. Be happy with 9 mil. Can barely do 2 mil. What? Restart all over? Ah.
Where are you going?
Where are you going? Ah. No, stop going towards the edge like that. Please. Ah! Roland, stop dashing towards the edge. I'm trying to get you to go back. This is annoying. Let me just stay away from that for a bit. Ah! Where is he? Yeah, there.
Let me hear more
Yeah.
of the real story. This is climax.
Okay, where next? Where next? The fan has stopped working. That's good. Maybe I could just wait for them all to come to me, because it looks like they'll come to me eventually. It looks like that one is preparing to come to me. Come here. Ah! Ouch. Come here, sir. Ah.
Let me hear more
Ah!
of the real
Where are you going, Roland? He's over there. Ow.
Where are you going?
Only 20 levels higher than you. Ah!
Where are you going?
Where are you going?
Climax.
I kind of want Roland to say that in a... Come here. In a New York accent. New York accent. How would a New Yorker say it? Where are you going? Remarkable. Maybe those humans can survive longer. Anyway, let me deal with the problem at hand. I mean, you guys still have a big gap to me. I think I only just reached, like, level 80?
Hear more of the real story. The audience is watching.
The audience is watching. Why aren't you down yet? Roland! Roland, why do you not do big PP damage?
This is climax.
Hetero Sapien Extreme. Ah! Stay down already, will you? Ow! I didn't see you there.
The audience is watching you.
Eh. Ah, come on, die! Ah, Roland.
This is the end.
Are you guys reaching level so fast? Took you so long to get to level 111. I mean, we're not at level 111 yet, so I guess it's taking us the same amount of time you did. You forget you're at level 111 now. The airtight valve is tightened under the joint force of the 4 people. The scavengers sit in the compartment at the periphery of the tower, gasping for air. The swarm of hetero creatures is barricaded on the other side of the door. They appear to be safe now. But this doesn't mean that the hetero plants will stop their assault anytime soon. They hear a loud crashing against the door like a drum from hell. Small vines whittle their way through a crack in the door, continuously deforming, as if trying to use their own volume to pry open the door. Damn it, are these things sentient? What the hell is going on in this tower? Those damn plants. They're using the punishing virus to erode the tower. So is level 120 like the maximum you can reach? Is there no more after that? Jarvis, mingle spirits, what? Looks like those plants we saw along the way weren't really plants after all. They were mutated by the punishing virus, just like those things in the red tide. See, this is why you shouldn't be touching the mysterious and suspicious red stuff. Must be so fun to get to the veteran ranks. What do you get if you max it out? Like, do they give you free tent pools, maybe? I should have realized this earlier. A violent shaking comes from outside. The hetero plants begin a new wave of attacks. The dilapidated railings set out a sad cry under the weight of the assault. You can go over Cap if you remember. Oh, okay. Watch your footing. Beardy quickly pulls Cordis, who was about to fall due to a loose steel plate under his feet, and drags him to the platform with a more stable ledge. Thanks. Cordis sits on the ground and gasps for air. Standing next to him, Romo notices that something had fallen beside Beardy's foot, so he picks it up and hands it to him. You guys drop this. Beardy takes the bag from Romo, opens it and looks at its contents, then tosses it back to Cordis. Hey, you dropped your raisins. Raisins? You get nothing. Okay, alright. I guess I was hoping for too much. Told you a million times, these aren't raisins, they're hydrangea seeds. Oh. Having sealed the bag, Cordis retorts feebly, as if he's fed up with having this conversation over and over again. Hydrangea? The flower? It's a new variant we developed. The stem has high rigidity. It won't droop under the weight of too many flowers, unlike the common blue hydrangea, and it's more resistant to pests. Oh, so you were what's it called? Botanist, I guess, and that's why he was so curious about the red sap, the red tide plants, the punishing virus plants. Why are you carrying that? I promised my daughter that I'd grow her the most beautiful blue hydrangea, layer after layer of different shades of blue. I was planning on filling the garden of our future home with them. Ah, and now you don't have your daughter, huh? Level 20 is just proof of your time spent, proof of your dedication to the game, to PGR. Or I guess proof that you were playing PGR from the start, maybe. Ah, my ear. First my eye and now my ear. What is wrong with me? He looks at the seeds with a soft look in his eyes, as if recalling a fond memory. However, his expression fades a moment later, replaced by deep sadness. Yeah, probably because daughter ain't daughter no more. Ain't around anymore. Don't mention your family or you're dead. There's no family to mention. The family's all dead. This is my research, or rather, the last fruits of my research. Can't even find a safe place to live. Here you are talking about planting flowers for your daughter. Well, we know they're gonna die. We know for sure that these guys are gonna die. I think maybe two of them get out alive because like at the end of chapter 16, I remember they mentioned that they were able to rescue two scavengers from the forest. But I think Cordis, the one who mentioned that he had a daughter, yep, he's dead. He's dead now. Where's your daughter now? When we went out to look for supplies, the city was attacked by corrupted. My daughter went missing. When I got back, all I saw were ruins and corpses. The seedlings I wanted so desperately to plant with my daughter were also destroyed. I looked everywhere, but I never found her. Well, I have some bad news for you, sir. You're very gullible. Gullible can't read. He asked a guy to use a 2-year-old DB Legend unit. They recently started to shorten the kits. Well, I mean, I'm on global and I read, but I'm not very good at the rest of the game, at the meta parts, at the building parts. I just play the characters that I like and that seem cool. Wherever they appear, it's likely to be a battlefield. We can't always run the risk of getting too close. After such a long time, I was about to give up, but I heard that people can see their separated family members in the red tide, so I insisted on going, despite Zack objecting. But when I got there, I didn't find her. I even caused It's all in the past. The most important thing is that we're still alive. Okay, so from the way they were talking about this group of people early on, it seemed like they didn't trust each other because supposedly, they each had different parts of the different important stuff. Like one person was holding the medical stuff, one person was holding supplies. Yeah, one person was holding the food supplies and stuff. So it seemed like they supposedly don't trust each other, but from the way they're talking now, seems like they at least know each other's backstories. At least they know about Cordis's dead daughter, which I think can be a sign of trust a bit, maybe. Meta is temporary, wife and fun are permanent. uh, who do you think will die? I think the one that mentioned the dead daughter. You should be happy you didn't see your daughter in it. There's nothing good about the red tide. I mean, the red tide would only show the dead people who've like walked into it, right? So at the very least, you can be sure that your daughter didn't die in the red tide. Maybe. He's like, dude, it's too long to explain what it does. After meta. Um, maybe you can ask about your daughter when we get to the conservation area. Don't give up. I mean, you're at the conservation area now, technically. Abandoned though. And I heard there's a place in the conservation area for growing crops. Oh yeah, they were. The old lady that we ran into in chapter in Echo Aria, she was growing crops. We can have a stable and safe place to call home. Then you can make your daughter's wishes come true. Zack pats Cordis on the shoulder in silent consolation. Cordis stands up with a bitter smile and puts the bag of seeds back into his breast pocket. If we can even get out of this place alive, that is. Let's go. This ain't the first time we've had our lives on the line. Romo hesitates for some time, unsure of what to say. Oh. A sudden roar interrupts Rolmo. The steel frame overhead groans as if being pushed by brute force. The whole tower shakes violently from the rapid growth of plants. It seems that time within the tower is being fast-forwarded. The unprecedented plant growth causes the floors to crack from erosion. The invading plants begin to gradually pry open the sealed iron door. The group can hear the monsters hissing outside. But did you die? and I haven't died just yet. Well, no, I did die early on when I played as Roland. I died like 3 times. Behind you! Zack quickly points his gun in Romo's direction and shouts to him in reminder. Romo looks back hurriedly to see that the previously closed elevator doors are now teeming with tiny scarlet vines, like nerves and blood vessels spreading on the walls. Who's this guy or girl? Bet they're a villain or an anti-villain. Which guy or girl are you talking about? You mean this guy? You like anti-villains? Yeah, they could be cool, but it depends. Because most anti-villains, I gotta be honest, are written like very poorly. But when they're written well, they're written very well. Like Lelouch. A split second later, the elevator opens quietly. Several scarlet branches stretch out from within, quickly latching on to the legs of the nearest person. Ah! It all happens within the blink of an eye. Zack curses and aims at the branches, but doesn't shoot out of fear of shooting Romo. Ah, he doesn't want to hurt Romo. You kill villains. The struggling refugee is dragged to the edge of the elevator. Romo latches onto the elevator door, which hasn't fully opened. He sees the deep elevator shaft extend to the depths below him. The infinite darkness is like the ravenous throat of a giant beast. You save villains. Run upstairs, you fool! Before he can finish his sentence, the vine pulls him down into the shaft. Damn it! What do we do now? You heard him. Get to higher ground. This is a race of great disparity and strength. After losing their guide, the scavengers have to move on their own. For them, this is no longer a CPF that brings hope to people, but a cave of evil beasts, a place where all fears and disasters are bred. So dramatic. Okay, let me hydrate. There's a slight gust of wind from the elevator shaft. The steel frame creaks with the tension of the chain and blade as a figure in the gray cloak slowly descends from above. In one fluid motion, the figure gracefully lands on his feet without producing even the faintest of sounds. If there is stage and spotlight, he must be the acrobat, garnering all the attention of the crowd. Gonna go eat. See ya. Bye, Spirit. Take care. Have fun eating. The figure walks down the intricate staircase with the familiarity of walking in one's home. He takes off the hood that has been covering his head, shakes his messy long hair, and gives a curtain call to the petite figure sitting in the room. Mission complete. Are you satisfied with my performance, miss? Cinderella, it's been a while since we've seen you. I would appreciate it if you could make my exit more dignified. With your ability, Roland, you can leave at any time without my help. Sorry, I can't help making things more dramatic. You are a drama king. Is that how it is? I see. She gently nods in understanding and casts her eyes back to the monitors. This is the location closest to the CPF centrifuge array, as well as the central hub underground. The real mother grows and incubates here, so Cinderella has transformed it into a greenhouse similar to the underground waterway. Wonder where she was when we were, attacking and killing the mother. Why wasn't she there for the birth of the twins? A terminal composed of multiple monitors is pieced together in the center of the greenhouse. Each screen displays different images throughout the CPF. The images contain entangled vines, damaged facilities, wandering hetero creatures, and dead bodies quietly drying in the gaps between plants. Most of the screens are static images, only a few in the middle show signs of human activity. The monitors constantly change as they follow the group's movement from different angles. A peculiar waveform accompanied with data is displayed in the upper right corner of each image. As if confirming the changes of numbers and waveforms, the heterohive mother, separated by the glass on the other side, occasionally sends out violent fetal movements. Impressive. You've got quite the knack for capturing the perfect angle. If this was the Golden Age, I'm sure you'd win an award for Best Director. Mother sees everything. The entire CPF and even the surrounding forest have become an extension of its senses. Mother knows best. Cinderella's eyes remain fixated on the flashing images and data on the screen. Did Romo fall down the elevator? Into the elevator shaft with all those strange plants. I'm afraid he's already... Look, they're worried about me. Yeah, I'm surprised. They've known you for what, less than a day? Looks like I've still got it in me. Variables have been introduced into the experiment, beginning observation. In the gray surveillance video, the knotted branches suddenly split, and the red abscesses resemble gelatinous eyes. These exposed red spheres rotate from time to time among the branches, watching from the shadows everything happening inside the tower. These eyes will relay what they see to Mother. Your mission is complete. Will these guests be helpful to your research? Mother's incubation rate has steadily increased due to the stimulation from outside the CPF and the changing mental state of the humans inside it. The final transformation will complete in approximately 4 hours. After that, incubation will begin. Now that we are almost done, I've got a question about this mother. What's going to hatch out of her? Twins! Well, this is Gabriel's unfinished business. I don't understand it, but I will continue his research based on the information he left behind. Okay. Because from the way the story portrayed it during the chapter where they introduced Nugget, chapter 14, I think during that, it made it seem like this is Cinderella's baby. Like, Mother is something she's emotionally attached to. But now she's saying she's just, trying to finish the work that Gabriel started. Gabriel. It's a pity that Alpha finally got the best of him. Even if his memory shell was more intact, I don't think it's possible to recover all the data. I watched his every move while he tinkered with those hetero creatures, so I know the details of his experiment. I was thinking, if you tell me about Mother, I'll fill you in on the details. Roland smiles and lifts his palms up in a gesture of sincerity. We're in this together, I think it's a fair trade. Speaking of which, I've seen Gabriel repair hetero creatures broken beyond recognition. His skill and technology really amazes me. Cinderella looks up at Roland. A touch of emotion flashes in her dark gold eyes. Der Meister told me a story. A group of greedy adventurers awoke a slumbering demon while stealing the treasure in its lair underground. When the demon woke up, he saw that the humans were weak and greedy and decided to reshape the world. Yeah, W Alpha. Oh? Yeah, Alpha is superior to the chef. I see. So these actors are playing the role of those adventurers. Everything in this tower is a play for Mother, is that right? As for me, I'm also an actor in this performance, correct? Der Meister's exact words were, "Let Mother witness humanity's potential." He said you are the hunter now. So, Nugget believes in human potential? He doesn't, like, just outwardly dismisses them like Luna does? Roland pauses for a moment, then bursts out laughing. And I really need to thank him for looking at it from my perspective. Perhaps it would be easier to just show you Gabriel's recordings. No longer paying attention to Roland, Cinderella reaches out to the terminal. Interface confirmation. Data recovery. Complete. Confirming identification. Complete. Data generating. Initiating final command before shutdown. A sequence of records broadcast on the monitor, containing the entirety of data from Gabriel's discovery of the hetero core shards all the way to his ceasing of functionality. Recording. Damage sustained by Alpha, frame in critical condition. Available means of attack 0. Neural circuit losing functionality. Switching to backup memory block. Memory circuits are still intact. If properly analyzed, complete experimental records can be recovered. Looks like I will no longer see the punishing virus's final answer. What a pity. Fortunately, as long as Der Meister upholds his promise, my unfinished business will continue. I've marked the location of Mother. Cinderella will pick up where I left off. After witnessing my body be dismantled once more, I suddenly came to understand that before I became an Ascendant. No, even before that, how to define data that has occupied this memory shell before gaining sentience. What was he before he became an Ascendant? He's gotta be a construct, right? But, like, a construct made by whom? Is he a Babylonian construct? Is he a Kowloon construct? Probably not from his name. And he doesn't look like any of the other Babylonian constructs. Is he an Octilect construct? A bottle of alcohol broken over my body. Yum yum yum. A cigarette burning against my skin. As my head was trampled into the dirt repeatedly, and I could only tremble in others' laughter, something broke the shackles of my programming. Helpless, loathing, unwilling, insanity. Even now, these meaningless things occupy my neural circuit. A human with a metal body. Gabriel wasn't a human. So, like, he's just a mechanoid, an android? I thought you had to be a construct, you know, you had to previously be human to be, an Ascendant. So if you don't need to be a construct, then does that mean that a human can just straight up be an Ascendant, like how Collins wants? I'm sure they'll answer me about this later, so you don't have to, don't have to give me all the answers just yet. He was a mechanoid. Ah, like Nanami. Ah, wait, so that means that Nanami could also potentially become an Ascendant someday. Oh, shit. Uses memory that data has been... The memory data that had been deleted somehow finds its way back into my memory shell, but it's too late to find out the cause of this error. Oh, by the way, Chara, welcome. Hi. Time is running out. I have dedicated myself to the Ascension Network. These are my last words. Hold on, I'm sucking on some candy. Oh, wait, did I... Oh, I thought I skipped something, because it looks like they showed something longer down here. Guess not. Nanami doesn't need to become one. Nanami is Nanami. She don't need no punishing virus. The recording stops. The rest is intermittent static. The screen turns black, only the red light indicating end flashes in the dark, just like the red eyes under the mask of the crazed martyr who refused to stay down. Cinderella ends the broadcast with no expression on her face. Rather than watch the recording, she was staring at Roland's reaction silently. This is all of the data Gabriel left behind. Stubborn bastard, up until the very end. The real accumulation of the punishing virus's will. Seems like the things in this mother are far more troublesome than the Pterigoda Queen. Honestly, I can't say I'm too fond of this. Good thing Babylonia's got their hands full for the time being. Now's a good time to proceed with our work while they're distracted. Roland seems to gloat at their misfortune, yet his narrowed gaze is like a surging undercurrent in the depths of a tranquil pool. Now it's your turn to provide details on Gabriel's experiment, not mentioned in the recordings. Of course. I'm a man of my word. Speaking of which, what were Gabriel's last words? Cinderella remains quiet as she opens another data file. Gabriel's voice begins to play. His voice is deep and hoarse, reminiscent of the angel of death blowing a horn to declare the end. Dun dun dun. This is the selection of a higher will. Time is running out. The real culmination of the punishing virus's will soon come into being. Right next. Looks like this place should be okay. I wonder if Romo's alright. He's still worried. I don't think anyone could survive falling from that height. We've seen our fair share of death along the way, haven't we? Don't let this get to you. We're all still alive. That's what matters the most. But now the problem is, how do we get out of here? Those plants have completely blocked our way in, so we can't possibly go back the way we came. Now we gotta find a new way out. Those damn plants have blocked the evacuation route. The only way out is to destroy the plants from the outside. If those things can even be called plants. Let's blow those abominations straight to hell. Normal plants can't possibly grow that fast, can they? Cordis, you're the botanist here. What do you say? They just look like plants, but internally they're the same as those monsters created by the punishing virus. And from the way they move, they're more like appendages rather than plants. In other words, we can't just destroy them. Correct. Damaging them will just release a high concentration of the punishing virus, which we're not equipped to deal with. We're also running low on ammo. We'll run out of ammo before we can even put a dent in them. We haven't even managed to scrounge up supplies either, despite the number of bodies here. Ultimately, it was my decision to come here. My poor judgment got us into this mess. I'll get you guys out of here, no matter what. Zach picks up his backpack and pulls out a worn notebook and charcoal pen. If the emergency exit is blocked off, we'll have to try to leave through the main entrance. Now that it's closed, we'll have to find the central control room and open it from there. He quickly draws a crude map and marks several points on it. If the structure of each filter tower is basically the same, the central control room is usually located in the middle of the tower. After all, it's in the name. But we can't use the elevator, so it's up to us. While we're going through the previous area, I noticed that the ladder we climbed should mean we're in the lower part of the tower. If we want to get to the stairs on the upper level, we'll have to go through this access corridor. The scavenger draws a long line on the map across the entire tower. Now that we have our target, let's go. Fish-shaped monsters with faint fluorescence roam the dark access corridor, hiding behind the giant machinery off in the distance. The scavengers clench their weapons instinctively. What should we do? We have to go through here to get to the other side. With this many of them, we got our work cut out for us. Even if we use all we got, we'll only hold out for half a minute. Wanna try forcing our way through? It's gonna be tough. Our only option is to try explosives. Explosion! Get Karenina here. Wait, won't that blow up the corridor too? You underestimate the structural stability of the CPFs. It'll take a lot more than a few explosives to do that. Roger. Beardy nods, then raises his weapon in preparation for Zack's next command. But as if suddenly thinking of something, Cordis raises his hand to stop Zack from taking out explosives from his bag. Wait, looks like some kind of deep-sea fish. Fish? Zack, remember those red-type monsters we ran into from before? They have similar forms as animals and behave like them. Those flying insects and scorpions. We use fluorescent rods to attract their attention and escape from the sewer. Hearing this, Zack puts the explosives back in his bag and turns to look at Cordis, who's suddenly excited by the stroke of genius. So, what do you suggest? If those fish-like monsters also imitate the behavior of animals, they likely have the same habits as deep-sea fish. Cordis suppresses his excitement and lowers his voice. Because there's almost no light down in the ocean depths, many deep-sea fish have abandoned their eyes through evolution. Some fish have eyes, but they no longer work. That is to say, they're blind. They don't use their eyes to judge the position of their prey. They locate them using sound waves. So, as long as we can make noise to distract their attention and cover our movement, we should be able to clear a corridor this length in about 8 seconds. You're right. Well, not me. I'm not that fast of a sprinter. I'm not a runner, so it won't take me more than 8 seconds. You mean we still need this thing? Zack smirks and grabs the explosives again. Yes, but we need to be careful where to throw it. How about over there? Zack points to the energy pipeline at the fork. It's a little far from the corridor, so if it's detonated over there, the monsters on all 3 sides will be drawn to it. The chain reaction from igniting the pipeline should also give them some added time, allowing them to run to the other end of the corridor. 8 seconds, not 8. They got 7 seconds. It's all they can spare, and this is why one of them will die, the one who's the slowest runner. Ready? On the count of 3. The other 2 nod and prepare to make a run for it. 3, 2, 1. As soon as Zack finishes counting down, he tosses the explosives in an arc towards the pre-designated location. As soon as it lands, Beardy shoots it with marksman precision. Then, with deafening sounds, the explosion of the energy pipeline causes a burst of sound waves. The monsters that were still wandering aimlessly immediately rush towards the direction of the sound. Run! The light from the explosion illuminates the corridor, and the scavengers rush forward at the moment of the explosion. Before the end of the vibration and sound generated by the explosion, they successfully step on the platform at the other end of the corridor. In the embers left by the explosion, the severed vines begin to connect. Red light spots extend downwards along the vines. Something has opened its eyes amidst the chaos. It's Mother. Mother knows bestest. Oh, not bad. Leaning against the wall, Roland looks at the surveillance monitor and nods. Their seamless cooperation reminds me of teams from Babylonia. Everyone is good at something and bad at others, but when they work together, they're more than the sum of their parts. It's enough to give you a headache. The threat level of the scavengers is minimal. It's hard to say. You shouldn't underestimate anyone who can survive in such a hostile environment. That Meister of yours often refers to this as humanity's potential, no? However, I didn't expect to lure in people who know so much about the relics of the post-pandemic age. I'm curious, how far will they make it? What do you think, Cinderelic? Wanna make a bet? She don't look like the Gamba type of girl, Roland. Normally, people turn against each other at this point. Lack of supplies, disagreements, fear, anxiety, suspicion, and even emotional disputes. That's meaningless. I only care about the state of Mother. Okay. I expect nothing less from Gabriel's pupil. I feel like we've had this conversation before. I thought a change of scenery would be entertaining, but it's just as boring as before. Show me how long you can struggle. It's not every day that I get to see you acting differently. Keep me entertained for at least a while, alright? Wait, someone's at the door. I'm back. Roland is a fellow Fate Banner believer. This is... it was just one of my brothers who wants to see... Hey, no. And, like, the other day, I went to the mall and there was, like, this pop-up, basically, where a shelter was, like, showing... Basically. And they were all so much smaller than Aang. Aang, there's nowhere for me to put my mic now, with you lying down like that. Aang, I think, is so much bigger because, you know, he's an only child. And I basically hand-fed him throughout his life. Like, he doesn't have to compete. Wait, I didn't realize the mic was off. It was just... so as I was saying, it was just my brother wanted to see Aang. And I was telling you guys the story of, like, the other day What is wrong with my mic? Why is it suddenly turning on and off? Aang, is that you? Are you doing that? Anyway, I was saying, I saw a pop-up of a shelter and at the mall. And they had like a row of like kittens, and some of them were 3 months old. And the 3-month-old kittens, even though they're the same age as Aang is like so much bigger than them. I think it's because Aang doesn't have any competition when it comes to food and stuff. He's an only child, so he doesn't have to share resources or fight for resources with other kittens. So that's why he's so much bigger. He's not bigger in that he's fatter. I don't think he's fat. He's not wide. He's just, I guess, bigger. I have a feeling that he's gonna grow up to be a huge cat. He's gonna be, maybe not chunky, maybe not, you know, a chungus, but, you know, he'll be just big, just a big boy. No. Okay, you gotta go down. You're too big for the desk now. Bye. Okay, wait. Before that, you wanna say anything to the mic? No? You're just grabbing at the mic. Okay, never mind. Bye. Put him back on the bed. Alright. Sorry for bothering you, Aang. Okay, let's continue. First, I hydrate. We made it. Nearly at their limits, the scavengers stand in front of the doorway. A dusty nameplate with the words Central Control Room written on it hangs on the open door. Is this what we're looking for? I didn't expect to find it. Seems like there aren't any monsters here. Maybe because we're on such a high floor? Maybe the monsters can't climb stairs, or maybe we're just lucky. CPFs will either with earlier serial codes are often prototypes. The government feared a punishing virus leak, or that the technology wasn't fully developed, so they were often built in less populated areas. Looks like it's smaller in scale and the interior hasn't been fully optimized. The central control room is the most important place in the tower, so it's relatively easy to find. Why couldn't they just reveal what these guys look like? Because, you know, with all three of them here like this, it's just a black blob. Can't you just, you know, design some new characters? Entering the room, Zack smells a dusty, stale odor, indicating that the room hadn't been open for quite some time. Zack shows a subtle expression, like a long, entangled hatred, but with a flash of memory. His eyes spell a sense of hatred towards something he cannot separate from. Zack touches the console, causing the interface to light up. Looks like it's still working. Zack's hand trembles slightly with excitement. He puts his hands on the console and slowly exhales. You work on that. I'll go see if we can find anything else in the room. Zack nods, then begins to study the complex control system. First, I need to locate the fire door at the entrance. Do I need to input a command? Damn it, where the hell am I supposed to find the commands? They were probably set ages ago. Guess I'll see if I can at least open a side door. Wait, the last time this control system was activated, it was during the end of the post-pandemic age? Since the door to the tower was never opened, why is it still running? There hasn't been anyone to maintain the centrifuge array. There's no way it should still be in operation. Maybe it's because someone has been keeping it running. This place isn't as abandoned as you thought. What's going on here? If the tower still functions normally, there shouldn't be so many hetero creatures here. What's wrong? Your face is pale. Something's not right with this tower. That's for sure, pal. Look around at all those plants and monsters. Of course there's something going on here. No, that's not it. I thought this tower was started recently. That's what the operation log states, but the control system shows that it was last activated during the post-pandemic age. So, how was the tower activated? Who can bypass the control authentication here and start the tower? Zack puts his head in his trembling hands, muttering to himself. He's going through it, folks. He's going through a crisis. This tower has been in operation for at least 2 months. Something wrong with that? To put it plainly, the CPF is just a super large air conditioner. With the operation of the centrifuge array, the filter tower can separate gases with different densities, allowing it to pull the punishing virus from the air and transfer it to the filter element at the base of the tower. Therefore, it's necessary to do routine maintenance on the centrifuge array and clear the filter once it's reached max concentration. Generally, CPF in areas with larger populations need to have routine maintenance once a month due to the air quality, but even CPFs in the forest cannot go 2 months without maintenance. But the punishing concentration here is low, and we can still breathe here safely. Is someone maintaining it? Now you're getting it, my dude. Impossible, it's too complicated. Each step needs to be carried out strictly according to special instructions. Even the slightest error can lead to disastrous results. We can't joke around with the lives of everyone who lives within a 12-kilometer radius. So who has been joking around with the people who live within a 12-kilometer radius? We. I get it now. You know, I've been meaning to ask how you know all this. I know that you're a mechanical engineer, but I didn't know that you used to work in CPFs. Was a mechanical engineer. Zack quickly corrects him. I didn't participate in the construction of any tower. I just had to maintain the centrifuge array once since no one wanted to go near it. After all, it's not easy to maintain it. Any mistake will lead to infection. It's nothing but bad news. The only reward was the Nutri-Stick. In retrospect, I was taken advantage of. If that's the case, where is the filtered punishing virus going? That's the problem. The plants and monsters we saw on the way here. I don't think things are that simple. After Zack presses a few buttons on the terminal, the projection screen suddenly lights up, showing an image. Oh, hold on. My other brother came and he took my son. I told him to go take Aang and play outside. Even Beardy, who has no knowledge of the CPF, can see the seriousness of the situation. The image is covered with red warnings and data. What's this? The image is an indecipherable 3D model. Oh, they're seeing Mother. It looks like a heart, but also an egg of some kind of creature. Countless red cables stretch out from it, each with a high concentration of punishing virus. The cables look eerily familiar to the scavengers. They have an uncanny resemblance to the umbilical cords on the humanoid creatures in the forest or the plants in the cracks of the tower. The umbilical cords are like pipelines of energy supply, providing this thing with punishing virus. The punishing virus, which should have been sent to the filter element through the centrifuge array, is being redirected into whatever the hell this thing is. Zack clenches his fist on the console even tighter. This level of concentration. Cordus's voice trembles. He doesn't even dare to look at the alarming data that continues to escalate. Holy shit, we're done for. Compared to the red tide, this is a whole new level. What's this progress bar? Beardy points to the progress bar at the bottom of the screen. It's visibly sticking up as they watch. 89%? What happens when it's full? Zack shakes his head in silence. Even if they can't get the answer, they know that when the progress bar is full, nothing good will happen. What should we do? We can handle 1 or 2 hetero creatures, but this looks completely out of our league. Should they escape and act like they didn't see anything? The trio exchanges glances, apparently all thinking the same thing. The existence of something like this is a huge threat. We can't just let it go. Besides, the conservation area we're going to isn't far from here. Help! Call for help! This tower was built by the world government. There must be a communication system, an alarm system, and a special emergency frequency. If we can send a message, even if it's a radio signal, even if Babylonia's army doesn't receive it, as long as someone can receive it, someone might come to the rescue. Yeah, why didn't I think of that? I'll give it a try. Well, I mean, I think at least 2 of them survived. I'm pretty sure. Huh, look at them trying to call for help. Ha ha ha. Do they not know that it's futile? They have no idea that we can see all their running, hiding, and struggling, and even trying to call for help crystal clear on the monitors. Looking at the scavenger with a serious look on the screen, Roland laughs heartily, but his eyes are not smiling at all. Inside them are only deep and complicated emotions. Oh? Are you feeling bad for them, Roland? Are you seeing yourself in them, Roland? He hears a distant noise in his mind, like quietly dusting off an old roll of film and playing it again. Of course I do. First, the screen went black. After that, the cameras kept changing, but I saw everything. You running and looking for a place to hide, then ending up in that conference room. I saw the whole crisis. Roland shakes his head, forcing himself to recover from the chaos of the noise. The scavenger's on-screen performance continues. They are anxiously checking for the large operation panel in the central control room, trying to find a way to contact the ground forces or Babylonia. But the filter signal had long since been jammed. No one will hear their desperate cries for help. The scavengers in the image seem to realize this. They stand around the console, their faces pale as a ghost. Roland has seen this look of despair countless times on helpless constructs and hopeless humans. And what else is on their face? Anyway, please call the police ASAP. I gotta say, this attempt at boosting audience participation is a bit ham-fisted. But do you really know what real is? Even for just a moment, Roland still feels the pain tearing his stomach, a feeling of nausea that he buried in the depths of his soul a long time ago. It was as fleeting as an illusion, but at the moment it was clear as day. Those feelings that he thought he would not resurface, like ghosts hidden in an abandoned house, begin to haunt him again, one by one with the progression of the performance. These feelings become stronger and stronger until they could no longer be ignored. Damn, he's actually feeling empathy. Poor Roland. Hi, Mystic, hello! Welcome back! Good show, jolly good show. Roland smiles with a slight grimace, then jumps off the stack of old machinery and walks to the door. Watching these are dreadfully boring. I'm going to find a place to sleep. Before he leaves, he glances back at the rusty schematic of the tower hanging on the wall and the location of hidden fire exits. Generally speaking, the audience isn't allowed on stage, but there's always an exception. He's feeling bad for them. In the central control room, the 3 scavengers are slumped on the ground. Things aren't looking good. I've tried everything, but I can't start the gate using the central control system here. We can't send a distress signal, and now we can't even open the door. Impossible. There's gotta be another way, right? We're so close to the conservation area. On the brink of fatigue, Beardy drags himself over and grabs Zack's clothes with his trembling hands. He keeps repeating his question. The always cheery smile has disappeared from his face. Instead, there's only the gradual emergence of fear and despair. It seems that some string that has been stretched tight for a long time is finally about to break. My god, I can't read anymore. Guys, don't start fighting each other now. No one responds. The central control room is almost maddeningly silent. The intermittent hiss of the CPF being strangled by the plants outside knocks at their hearts. The projection screen is still lit, and the progress bar reading is still growing. The twins are about to be born. No, it's not over yet. Zack stands up slowly. Punishing virus, corrupted, this is all they're doing, damn it! As if all his strength has been pulled away, he holds on to the console for support. However, his eyes are transfixed on the bright red color on the projection screen. Just because of an oversight before I went to sleep, I didn't notice the mechanical abnormality. No, that's because I've been lying. Hell, I'm still lying to myself. I said, how can my machines be infected with an organic virus? Isn't that just a common malfunction? I hid the mechanical abnormality and I didn't report it. When I woke up, I opened the door. All the machines I was familiar with now had red eyes, their bodies stained with red blood. Oh? Zack, you're the reason the punishing virus started? Or you're the reason that the world wasn't prepared? The anomaly I should have paid more attention to harmed my family, harmed the entire block. Zack, calm down. Zack closes his eyes and takes a deep breath. His hands on the console clenches into a fist. The CPFs are machines built to protect people. The conservation area was built around the CPF. Countless refugees were reunited under the tower. Mechanic engineers built these towers. How could we let these disgusting monsters act so recklessly? Zack puts his hand on the keyboard and begins to type rapidly. Several pages spread out on the projection screen. Each page displays the number and status of various group centrifuges. I'm going to destroy the tower centrifuge array, cut off power, and put a stop to the CPF. Even if we can't destroy the monster, we can at least prevent the progress bar from increasing. The CPF should be hope for humanity, not a lair for those monsters. So Zack's the one that's gonna die? He's not the one with the dead daughter, right? An ear-piercing alarm begins to echo throughout the entire tower. Warning, warning, centrifuge array in Sector A deactivated. Please contact maintenance personnel to resolve the issue immediately. Warning, warning, centrifuge array in Sector B deactivated. Please contact maintenance personnel to resolve the issue immediately. Warning, CPF will be rendered inoperative without immediate course of action. But if you deactivate it, won't you just, cause yourselves to get, to basically get corrupted faster? You are back as well. Had to wash the dishes. Welcome back from washing the dishes. Hello. Hi, Mike. The metrics and oscillograms on the screen have changed significantly. This reading is Mother? Afraid? The progress bar that is about to come to an end stops slowly and buzzes repeatedly with a warning sound. 94.5%. 94.5%. 93.9%. 93.5%. Then the reading starts to slowly retreat. Mother! Mother! At the moment she sees the reading beginning to retreat, Cinderella's dark golden pupils suddenly shrink. She immediately looks towards the hetero mother, which was previously in a stable state and is now crying. After the scarlet umbilical cords lost their supply of punishing virus, they fall to the ground like a rapidly withering and rotting plant. I mean, it's a good plan. It's just that we know that this plan didn't work. Because, we didn't see them. And Babylonia were the ones who defeated the mother and the twins. So she immediately looks toward the hetero mother, which was previously in a stable state and is now crying out. The remaining red umbilical cords, hungry for more nutrients, slowly crawl with Mother to the place with the highest punishing concentration. Mother is starving because of them. The centrifuge arrays, 4 of them, are already irreparable. Why? This problem has never occurred in previous experiments. They're hurting Mother, not Mother! No, I can't let this happen. Unfavorable factors in the experiment need to be screened out. Cinderella raises her hand and gently sings a lullaby. The lullaby is calm and long, passing through the stacked steel frames and iron pipes. The hetero creatures, hiding in the dark, as if having obtained some enlightenment, go in a certain direction under the guidance of Cinderella. Mother needs more space for delivery. Cinderella commands the hetero plants that had penetrated through the cracks to rip open the ceiling. Cross-shaped light projects onto Mother, and the cracks widen. Cinderella can now see what's above as Mother gradually moves in that direction. You've got to be joking. Despite all of the hetero creatures they'd seen along the way, none frightened them as much as the scene in front of the scavengers. From the glass wall in front of the central room, they can see the scene inside the CPF. Only a faint skylight at the top of the tower illuminates the base floor, which had been eroded by the hetero plants. The sturdy, solid vines break open the floor to form a hatch. A huge black shadow appears from deep within the darkness. Something rises gradually on the branches and vines. The sounds of the CPF's walls begin being scratched and squeeze echo in the nearly fortified space. The dense black shadow is like a giant parasite living in the tower, climbing up among the lingering branches step by step. Is that it? I didn't expect it to be hiding under the CPF. Is it climbing outside because it can't absorb energy from the centrifuge array? This is only the beginning. Zack lowers his head and quickly operates the control terminal. Sweat drips from his forehead and falls on his trembling hands, which does nothing to impede his work. I need to violate each safety protocol one by one. I never thought I'd see such a day, but... Error. Centrifuge array in Sector C deactivated. Please contact maintenance personnel to resolve the issue immediately. But who could have thought that doing such a thing would end up helping humanity resist the punishing virus? As Mother begins to rise, the vines become more aggressive and continue to bang on the door to the central control room. To combat this, Cordis and Beardy barricade the door with heavy objects. Both of them slump on the door with their backs against the heavy objects and looks at Zack, who is hurriedly working in front of the console. Beardy looks like he's recovered to his usual appearance and smiles bitterly at his empty gun. Now we really have no way back, Zack. Hey, Beardy, think these flower seeds will grow if I ingest them? Heh, you're always calling me an idiot, but turns out you're the real idiot. I might not know much about plants, but I know that burying a body under a flower patch burns their roots. I just feel sorry that I couldn't make my daughter's wish come true. But if I die, I just hope that I don't see her there. I hope that she's alive, that she lives to see when dawn of a new day comes. Given how long it's been since you've seen her, if she's still alive, then she should be all grown up by now. Cordis takes out a photo tightly wrapped in clear plastic from his breast pocket. Whoops. Hold on. My son has been returned to me. Apparently, Aang was just hanging out at the edges of the stairs in the house, so like my brother got worried that he might jump down, so he brought him back. Oh, he just went immediately to the water bowl. Okay, he's just thirsty. Tightly wrapped in clear plastic from his breast pocket and gently strokes it. In doing so, the small bag of seeds is squeezed out and falls gently onto the floor. But Cordis doesn't pick it up. His eyes remain firmly locked on the photo for a long time. In the yellowing photo, the girl with white hair and pink clothes looks like a gentle flower. She gives the camera a bright smile. Is it Liv? She's my pride and joy. But no, we already know that her dad was some kind of CEO of a medical company or something, right? So it's probably not Liv. Sorry. If I hadn't insisted on coming here, you wouldn't. No point talking about such useless things at a time like this. We also know it's not Luna, since, you know, if he's just thinking about one daughter and he's completely forgetting about Alpha, about Lucia, then that makes him a shit dad, but it's probably not Luna. We all know that we couldn't have reached the conservation area with the supplies we had, and obviously you can't leave us. At least we'll die fighting, let alone against the entire tower of hetero creatures. This would make for one hell of a movie. We'd be the heroes. Yeah, you'd be the heroes who die at the end. Like Markiplier's Iron Lung. Even now, Beardy tries his best to liven up the mood. Maybe because this is the role he's always played on the team. Or maybe he simply doesn't want his partner's sad expression to be his last memory as they die together. Yeah, you're right. There's even someone to play the role of pulling out his daughter's picture right before he dies. We've got all the roles covered. Zack chuckles. He lowers his head and swallows the guilt in his eyes as he looks back at the projector screen. Good. Looks like the centrifuge array in Sector D is also... Ugh. His abdomen feels ice cold at first, followed by intense heat and agonizing pain. Zack lowers his head slowly and sees a scarlet branch protruding from his abdomen as blood drips down from it and onto the table. Zack! All this happened so suddenly that no one had noticed the branches emerging from the small vents in the ceiling. Due to the intense pain from the stab wound in his abdomen, Zack can no longer support himself and falls to the ground slowly. The wound quickly shows symptom of punishing infection. A burning sensation rapidly spreads to his limbs. Cordis serum! Here! Cordis hurriedly takes out the box of serum from his bag, grabs a vial, and prepares to give Zack an injection. Don't. It's no use. Don't waste it. Zack reaches out and stops Cordis' hand holding the serum, shaking his head. But you... I've had it coming. She struggles to raise his head and looks at the progress bar on the projection screen. 79.9%. Oh, that's a lot. Is that it? No, it's a lot. It's more than 20%, right? Through the glass, the giant, indescribable shell rises up to the height of the central control room. It appears this is the highest it can reach. The black-armored shell tightly wraps the soft red underbelly. It frantically shakes the umbilical cord connected to it, screaming in agony. Ugh. A moment later, the barricaded door is smashed open by some immense force from outside. Outside, they see a pale girl floating, rather being hoisted in the air. Two fish-shaped hetero creatures tightly holding strands of cloth hanging from her clothes give her the illusion of floating. A half-broken wing stretches out from behind her. The girl's golden pupils are like a bottomless haze devoid of emotion. Please stop hurting, Mother. Please stop interfering with the tower. The girl raises her slender wrists and points to the huge shell hanging in the distance. Mother is about to go through the most crucial stage. I can't let her be in danger at this time. You should have come to help incubate Mother. Instead, you hurt it. This is an unforgivable sin. With her light, gentle tone, the pale and thin girl looks vulnerable, but the scavengers knew the moment the door was torn open that she is no ordinary human, nor is she on their side. Now, please turn into a bouquet of red flowers for Mother. She delivers them the most cruel death sentence in her most gentle tone. Right as Cinderella points her finger at the scavengers, a giant hole is blown out of the wall beside her with a huge bang. Scrap metal and cement fly past her. In response, she quickly commands her fish, allowing her to escape unharmed. However, the sudden blast interrupts her attack. Oops, sorry, my aim was a little off. I didn't hurt you, did I? Looks like my aim has suffered from being so weak right now. He's just acting out. As the oh no, oh dear me. Hey, Alex, hey, how you doing? It's been a while, hope you've been doing okay. A figure appears in the breached wall. He shakes the chain blade in his hand, and the dust from the explosion slowly settles. Roland? I'm fine, please be more careful next time. The figure emerges from the dust, shaking the dust off his hair. He smiles gracefully. Good, I didn't miss the climax, did I? They hurt Mother and hindered their Meister's plan. They have to pay the price. Huh, looks like they're already scared out of their wits. Think I can have a word with them? Cinderella silently floats to the side and lands in the corner of the room. Thank you so much. Roland looks at the scavengers with a smile. What a pity. Especially you, Zack. That wound sure looks serious. I'd advise you to leave him behind. You can't escape with him. Aren't you Rollo? I'm surprised you recognized me, even as you're about to go unconscious. I'm touched. I was suspicious of you ever since we entered the tower. What? That's the refugee who led us here? Why'd you trick us? The scavenger's surprise in realizing that they were deceived was just as Roland has imagined, but their reaction lacks in intensity, probably because they were already past the point of exhaustion. I didn't trick you. Cordis. Is that not his name? Am I saying it wrong? The forest, the tower, the supplies, every word I said was the truth. You saw it with your own eyes. I gave you intel and warned you about the intel, but it was ultimately you who made the decision to come here, didn't you? So far, everything was on your volition. I just led the way. Roland's smile disappears from the corner of his lips. His tone carries a sense of pity. A trace of inexplicable sadness flashes in his eyes as he looks at them. Maybe this is just another layer of his act. Minawell, good to hear my voice again. Really? My voice is good? You. Don't be angry. What if I said you have a chance to survive? You think we'll believe your lies? Right, my apologies. What I said wasn't forthright enough. Roland reaches out and gestures a finger towards Beardy and Cordis. You and you. If you leave Zack here, I'll ensure you're a safe departure from this place. How does that sound? Cut your bullshit. Even if we die, we'll die together. Cordis and Beardy struggle to lift Zack, who is nearly unconscious. Stop pretending. I've been with you long enough. It's not like I don't know how much you two want to live. But we're not just going to leave him here to die. I'm just giving you your best option. Why are you making me out to be the villain? Don't worry about me. Hurry. Only you two can survive. That's bullshit. We're not leaving you here. Nothing puts the audience at the edge of their seats like you go first. No, I won't leave you. Roland opens his arms in a grand gesture, mimicking a classic scene in movies, then shakes his head. Normally, I wouldn't mind relieving some boredom with this kind of scene, but unfortunately, there's no time for that. Don't you feel the punishing virus concentration rising? That's all thanks to you destroying the centrifuge array. Roland sighs with regret. The next second, the chain blade flashes a ray of cold light as he attacks the three scavengers sitting motionlessly on the ground. The two remaining conscious close their eyes and prepare for death. However, their anticipated death does not come. Everything around them suddenly begins spinning as if they were tied up and fiercely thrown out. Before falling in the dark stairwell, Cordis feels a cold card in his hand and someone whispering in his ear. Walk along the direction shown in the picture. The basement has access to the outside. By the way, the mess has been cleaned up. Don't be too grateful. He feels sorry for them. Is this the last one? Gotta check. I wasn't expecting Roland to have a heart. Okay, I think it's the last one. I'm already at 90% here. The last serum. Surviving Lucha. Phew. Roland stands by the hole which has been tightly blocked by a collapsed cement block and pats his hands as if he's just completed a warm-up exercise. Why'd you let them go? They were the only variables to have any direct effect on Mother. As you can see, Mother has had an emotional fluctuation similar to fear for the first time. Remember this chapter is where you started to like Roland more? Really? All because he felt bad for something that he did? For the consequences of his actions? Only when it knows what fear is can we know it's evolving in the right direction. They still haven't left the sensory range of Mother. Don't you want to know what kind of stimulation can be generated by the only surviving variable so far? It'd be a shame to let such precious samples die so soon. Think of it as an encore. I'm curious to see how far they can make it. It's much more interesting than those dramas in the tower, isn't it? Cinderella furrows her eyebrows faintly. This isn't part of the plan. The report is to order Der Meister. Let him make the final decision. Report this to Der Meister. Let him make the final decision. Roland shrugs, neither agreeing nor disagreeing. As you wish. Roland connects his comms link, and Vonnegutt's image appears on his terminal. Vonnegutt! You guys have him on speed dial. How's the situation? Roland leans to one side, arms folded, and looks at Cinderella leisurely as he waits for her to brief Vonnegutt on the current situation. Come on, if you had to choose between saving my queen by sacking one rando or rejected, you know what you'd do. My negligence resulted in the centrifuge arrays that provided Mother with nutrition being destroyed. Without a constant supply of punishing virus, Mother has grown considerably weaker than before. Without human interference, Mother would have completed the task by now. Sorry, that's my phone. I don't know if you guys heard that, but my phone is giving me notifications for stuff I don't want. Is that so? Vonnegutt doesn't show any sign of anger upon hearing the sudden change of events. He only raises his eyebrows out of interest. I tried to repair the centrifuge arrays to ensure that the CPF can complete the final punishing supply, despite the low power. The incubation has been postponed. I also, under incomplete conditions, the thing in the mother's body may have unpredictable defects. Oh, the things in the twins, she means. The twins are defects? No matter, you've done well. You and Mother have completed your mission with flying colors. And Roland, thank you for your efforts. I'll hold up my end of the bargain. Thank you. Babylonia has found the location of Mother, and they've sent their construct forces to investigate. Take all the research materials and evacuate as soon as possible. But I'm afraid that Grey Raven will be joining them. Are you confident you can win without any consumption? We have more important matters to attend to. I understood. Good girl. As for your mother, don't worry, her time will come. Since the incubation of Mother will be delayed, it's better to have Babylonia's troops be its last guest. Set the stage for the final act. Return to my side and witness it with me. The transmission over. Heh. Oh, I need to finish this soon. I can't read anymore. After saying farewell to Roland, Cinderella immediately returns to the underground greenhouse as instructed by Vonnegut. As Cinderella murmurs, it's black and white now. The monitoring tower's screens go black. She unplugs the storage device inserted into the terminal. She looks up at Mother, hanging above her, then turns and walks into the darkness. I am the dark. The monster's wailing seems to be close at hand. The scavenger's consciousness ebbs and flows in the chaos. The pale and dangerous strange girl, the mysterious liar, the wailing from near to far, the pulsating bright red numbers, and the black and red light flickering in front of them. Wouldn't I rather have moon waffles or rake juice from regular show? I don't know what those are, so I can't say either. Oh right, she shut down the CPF's power to prevent the monsters from taking it over. Even with the power shut down as much as he could, the monster could not be stopped from growing. After losing most of the punishing supply, Mother seems to have fallen into temporary chaos while hanging from the top of the tower. The scarlet umbilical cords swing wildly in the air. Some have even withered. After struggling for a moment, they become paralyzed, unable to move. However, not only are the hetero plants unable to move, having withered from the loss of nutrients, Zack was unable to move either. Zack is too decayed to stand. He raises his hand. The festering has spread from his cuffs. Pus and blood soaked the cloth wrapped around his hands. Went to sleep at 5 a.m. today. Woke up at 11. Sounds like a good sleep. I'm glad you're enjoying your break, motivated Alpha. Looking through the gap in his fingers, the scavenger sees the shell off in the distance. In the gap of the black shell, the clear outline of a shadow gradually emerges from the red interior. A strange feeling rises in the scavenger's mind. This kind of vision, which is as if there is nothing, sticks to his whole body. He feels something staring at him through the chaos. His vision is gradually stained with a bright red, so close to seeing what is staring at him in the shell. Suddenly, it turns dark before him, as if the bloody world is covered with a dense shadow. Just because of the World Cup. Oh, that's why. Okay, well, I'm not really a football or soccer kind of person, so I hope you at least enjoyed yourself. There you are. Someone stands in front of the scavenger. He opens his bloodshot eyes. The optic nerves suppressed by the virus make him unable to discern the figure in front of him. How pitiful. His voice carries the sound of frivolous laughter, as if the misery in front of him is something he was used to. Poor human, if only you were a construct, I would have been able to save you. You, Romo. I'm surprised I didn't think you would be able to tell who I am. Your friends have already left you. Really? The scavenger puts his hand deep into the backpack and fumbles for quite some time. Finally, he pulls out a vial of serum. If you see them, give them this, please. They're running low on supplies. If I remember correctly, Cordis is in charge of carrying your group's medical supplies. This one I kept for myself. We all did, just in case. So if we're separated during an accident, we at least know the others will survive. I'm hopeless. They should have taken this when they had the chance. But I'm the villain who deceived you. What makes you think you can believe me? I saw you save them. I don't know why you did it, but you did. There's no hope for me. It's better for you to carry it than for it to rot with me. And I don't have a chance to know what kind of person you really are. Roland looks at Zack with a blank expression. While searching for new recruits, many constructs had reached their hand out, much in the same way in desperation to survive before being devoured by the virus. Roland, the actor, has seen countless tragic plays. Roland, the descendant, has experienced countless tragic realities. This time, the human also reaches out with a strong desire to live, but he is asking him to save others instead. Is this a trick to win pity, or does the truth come out in one's dying breath? I just want everyone to live. I just wanted to get as much supplies as possible until we find a place where we can live. A place where Cordis can plant his blue hydrangea and watch them sprout into beautiful flowers. Maybe we could have found out where the whereabouts of his daughter is in that the whereabouts of his daughter in that conservation area. We wouldn't have to wander around because of the virus and get into ridiculous disputes anymore. Beardy wouldn't have to try and cheer us up anymore. Tears spill out of his eyes as he trembles with pain. The scavenger's voice is so weak it almost disappears among the roar of the tower. You mentioned that movie. Want to know how it ends? The brave knight reaches the top of the tower. He finds out that the place where the secret treasures should have been is empty. Where the secret treasure should have been is empty, and the knight dies of despair. At least that's how it should have ended, but the lead actor of the film didn't agree with the script. At the time, he was so naive that people laughed at him. He believed that people could achieve happiness on their own accord. He said that reality is bitter enough. Why film a tragedy that will only break the audience's heart? Oh, wait. Cordis' daughter is that construct that Liv saved. Oh, wait. Yeah, the one from the main chapter, not the hidden part. Oh, the one at the end. Ah, so he convinced the director to change the ending. Right as the knight is about to be engulfed by despair, the god sleeping in the tower finally wakes up. He witnesses the hope, struggle, and despair of the knight, and realizes that there is such a powerful force in the hearts of humanity, whom he once viewed as weak. Roland's voice is quiet and calm, like he is intimately familiar with the story. So the god gives humanity the kindling of hope, and tells humanity that the disaster would one day pass. That's a better ending. Isn't it ridiculous? He can't even control his own destiny, but he wants to change the fate of a fake character. What's the meaning of this? Meaning? Of course I know it's fake, but I really liked that he never gave up. Is that the opinion of a movie? Isn't that the point of a movie? As long as someone performs a role and people watch it, the role will live on in the hearts of the audience. As long as the feelings at that moment are real, what difference does it make if it's all an act? Zack's entire body is gradually rotting due to the virus, but there's a faint smile in the corners of his mouth. This chapter has been very, very dark, mostly because all the 3 NPCs are like in shadow and basically just outlines. But this part too is just all black. What is with this hidden, huh? Right as his life is drawing to an end, he recalls the distant memories of what he had seen and heard during his journeys, casually chatting in front of weathered and broken posters, a movie hiding quietly in his backpack. The afternoons he would watch them with his family. What I've done is absolutely not meaningless. What I've done. The scavenger's voice is so weak it almost disappears among the roar of the tower. Oh, now it's not black. Too bad I don't have more time to chat with you. Roland squats down and takes the vial from the scavenger. I'm not sure if I'll see your friends again, but the serum will play its role as you said. I rarely make promises, but this time you can trust me. Thank you. You're welcome. It's rare for someone to believe me for a change. What an interesting feeling. Usually everyone believes my lies, but nobody wants to believe my truths. Blood slowly overflows out of Zack's ears and his organs are rapidly failing. He can no longer hear what the person in front of him is saying. Not to mention, considering this is the final gift for the audience who still remembers me. When Roland utters the last sentence, which is almost a murmur, the scavenger hears nothing. With his hand still held out, he stops breathing. A twisted and strange cry comes from all parts of the tower, like a nightmare that can never be woken up from. Roland looks up at the shell hanging from the top of the tower. You're still watching? No one answers. Roland quietly drapes the scavenger in his cloak, covering his body and face full of regret. This is not our final destination. Rest, my friend. He actually felt sorry for them at the end there. Now what? Keep moving, no matter what. Cordis and Beardy support each other as they walk through the seemingly endless forest. The CPF behind them has been completely occupied by the glowing red plants, becoming a giant tree pointing directly into the sky. The white signs that once guided them have been completely covered, and they can no longer distinguish the location of the CPF. Something is quietly incubating in the CPF, waiting patiently to be delivered. This CPF, which was once the hope of scavengers for survival, has become an eternal nightmare in their hearts. This CPF, which was once the hope of humanity for survival, has become a hotbed of human suffering. The strange cries of humanoid monsters come from the jungle. They can even pick out Zack's voice from the rising and falling calls. But now Zack has become a permanent resident of the CPF. Those weird and deformed figures with the voice of their sacrificed partner squeezes indescribable screams from their throats and attack them. They do not want Zack's expectations to go to waste, but no matter how hard they try, this is as far as they can make it. Beardy looks at Cordis, then takes out their last remaining grenade. Is that necessary? Something flies across the night sky and lands right in Beardy's hands. It's a clear vial of serum. I didn't expect to see you two still alive. Looks like you've really opened my eyes. An approaching monster is obliterated by a shotgun blast, lassoed by Roland's chain blade, and thrown deep into the forest. Ronovea? I don't know what that means. But on the plus side, at least I get to fulfill a promise. If that didn't work out, I might have been a little disappointed in myself. It's you. I don't think now's the best time to fight, amigo. I'm your savior, after all. Where are you off to? There's nowhere else for us to go. Cordis covers his bleeding left hand. His backpack had been lost in the escape. Of course there is. You just need to put your mind to it. Roland smiles and points to the sky. As a thunderous roar approaches from afar, a few stars twinkle in the night sky. No, those aren't ordinary stars. They're transport crafts approaching the forest. As if sensing the arrival of the uninvited guests, the giant trees behind them unleash a strange roar. The rustling and cries of the hetero creatures can be heard all throughout the forest, just like a warning given by a giant animal when it exposes its fangs. But those stars remain unfazed and continue firmly en route to the forest. Like shooting stars. Those are transport crafts from Babylonia? You're right. Now's the time to call for help. The wanderer walks on the desolate battlefield. In front of him is a scorched land, filled with disfigured remains and broken weapons. The roar of gunfire or the cries of agony are long gone. Nothing but deranged silence lies here. The source of the disaster was already gone. Burning trees topple to the ground and craters are filled with bubbling red liquid in its wake. It is impossible to tell whether the liquid soaked in the scorched earth is bodily fluid from hetero creatures or vital fluid from constructs, or even blood from humans. The wanderer stops in front of unidentified remains. Nearby, he picks up a vial of dirty serum. Smoke glooms in the sky, refusing to disperse. Even the moon is obscured by the thick blanket, leaving only a faint silver glow. Staring at the scene, which can only be described as an illusion, Roland hears a mysterious voice in his mind. It's a distant and cold voice, but with a trace of imperceptible confusion. What kind of world do you want to see? Roland looks back again at the scorched earth he has long journeyed through. Ah, well, cutscene. Wasn't expecting that. Cutscene for Roland. Ting! The tree. The constructs. The twins. The Lucia. The Lee. The Liv. The Commandant. The serum.
Oh, what a sad, pathetic little world. Set it aflame and let it rise from the ashes.
Gotta go now. Okay. Bye. Take care, Motivated Alpha.
Oh, what was I expecting? Well then, out of the shadow and into the light.
Huh. Well, wasn't expecting that. Okay, so since we finished that, this looks like it's gonna be a long chapter, chapter 17. So we'll leave that for tomorrow. Alright, so, Motivated Alpha. That serum is the main protagonist. Well, it is Garlic serum after all. Garlic is the main protagonist every time, all the time. Alright, I also gotta go really quick now. So, Motivated Alpha and Mike, if you're still there, Mystic, and Alex, and Spirit, if you guys are all still there, thank you so much for joining me tonight. Dire, if you're still there, thank you as well for joining me. I guess I will go now. I'll see you guys again tomorrow. Take good care of yourselves. Have a good rest of your day. Have a good rest of your night. Take care. Goodbye. Goodbye, everyone. Yepperoni, you're still there. Yay. Alright, take care then, Mike. Bye. Have a good day.